This episode is brought to you by the Feel Rich Group Limited, a boutique consulting agency and this year's sponsor of Get High on Motivation Live 2021 New Year. New you. Let's get started. Good morning, IG. What's up, y'all? About to get this live going on YouTube and stuff. We're going to do the whole show today, if possible. What is this? No. This is getting on my nerves. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, love bugs. It's your favorite motivator's favorite motivator, Mimi the Motivator, and this is the Get High on Motivation show. Yes, in the closet. We're in Nashville, so you know if I'm in Nashville, I'm in the closet. So here we are. Let's get started. Today, we are going to be talking about how to increase your productivity and your creativity. Shout out to Joe Sanik. He's also a fellow podcaster that I just recently met on Clubhouse, and that is where this conversation was inspired from. Because as I felt myself talking, I said, ooh, I need to share this with my love bugs. But before we get into the conversation of the day, we will have some food for thought. And as always, we'll end with a question. And hopefully we can transform someone's mess into a message. Today's question is about getting married or not getting married. All right. Don't walk in front of me. I may not follow. Don't walk behind me. I may not lead. Just walk beside me and be my friend. I grew up hearing these words on my grandmother's answer machine, and then when I got grown, it reappeared on her voicemail again. And it wasn't until just last year that I saw this painting in the house that had the words on it. How have I been walking around this house all this time and never seen these words? I never knew, never figured out. But today, we are going to unpack those words. Don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Just walk beside me and be my friend. We live in a world full of sheeple. We live in a world full of people following the follower. I call them sheeple because sheep follow the hips in front of them. So whatever the hips in front of them are doing, that's where they go and that's what they do. Following the follower. Not even necessarily following the leader. But I think too many people are concerned with having a following and people following you. Who even cares if you have a following on social media? What really matters is, are you really making a difference in somebody's life? Because just because they're following you on social media doesn't mean that you're really even interacting with them. We don't even know if they even see what we have on our feed because of these crazy algorithms. So let's think about that. Is it really that important to have followers? Is it really that important to be a leader to you? And did you know that in order to be a leader, a good leader, you have to know how to follow? So, let's unpack this. Don't walk in front of me because I may not follow. Don't walk behind me because I may not lead. Don't depend on the people in your life to lead you. There are so many of us that are codependent. I probably count as one of them. And when you know and recognize that you are codependent, you have to be sure that you're not putting all your dependency on someone to lead you through your own life. This is your life. The only person that can really lead you is you. You have an inner GPS system to follow, so you don't need anybody to tell you anything. You don't need no religious person to stand between you and God or anything like that. You have an inner GPS system that lets you know this is the right way, this is not quite the right way. This is a really good decision because it feels good on the inside. And then when something does not feel good, you feel like a little cringing pain inside your body sometimes because you're not following your own GPS system. So don't expect me, love bugs, to lead you. And don't expect for me to follow you either. But what I do want to do is walk beside you and be your friend. and ask that you do the same with me, that we walk together through this new year to our destiny, because our destinies are tied together. You listening to this show makes me have to record a show. That's how I know, first and foremost, our destinies are tied together. But something else that may happen is that somebody's going to come along that has the very thing that you need, the very skill that you lack, the idea that is going to make your vision come true. Somebody's just really willing to roll up their sleeves and do some work for you. But you have to open yourself to receive that and not be looking for people to follow you and to follow your lead. Let's start making partnerships with the people in our lives. Let's start collaborating more. I am so blessed and grateful that I get to collaborate with one of my own kinfolk. My cousin. I'm really blessed that we collaborate together and that we work together. I get a chance to work with my best friend on projects, and it feels good. It's challenging at times, but it feels good to collaborate with my own people versus collaborating with strangers. I collaborate with strangers all the time. But I would like to encourage myself and encourage you to be friends with more of our friends, to walk beside them in their journey. Whether they are building a business or building a family, let's be sure that we are there beside them. Not trying to guide them through their relationships and tell them what they need to do, or expecting them to be our guiding light. Today, love bugs, in our quest of becoming 1% better, by the way, if you're a first timer, yes, you have to now become 1% better in your life every single day if you're going to listen to this show. Otherwise, you might need to hit that button that makes you go to somebody else's show that's going to be talking some stuff that you really want to hear, because I'm going to talk about the real stuff and what we need to hear and what we need and must do to be our best selves so we can increase our productivity and creativity, okay? Yes. And that's one way that you possibly can do it, is through collaboration. So let's take a quick break. We got to pay bills and stuff around here. And then we'll continue our conversation about how to increase productivity and creativity. So love bugs, have you heard of the I Am Sacred Collective? If you've been listening for a while, then you probably have seen the replays pop up on these full moon meditations. I want to encourage you to join us live this month. Every full moon, on or before it, we get together in our full moon circle. It's a virtual full moon circle where we come together, we connect, we breathe, we heal, we get empowered by an astrology reading, by a tarot card reading, and a guided meditation. That's the main thing that this whole entire thing is about, because many of us need to meditate more. So I want to invite you to Moon Meditation Magic. The link will be somewhere. Find it and join us. All right, love bugs, how to increase productivity and creativity. I was on Clubhouse. I don't know if you're on Clubhouse, but if you are on Clubhouse, then you got to follow your girl. Follow me. Yeah, right. Be my friend on Clubhouse. And I am at I Motivate. Little I Motivate. So make sure that you join me and be my friend on Clubhouse, because I will be having events going on Clubhouse on a weekly basis. Sometimes just a little moon meditation, not a moon meditation, but just some meditation to bring your day to a close or even to start your day. Something else we will be doing is actually talking about the moon. So this Thursday, if you're on Clubhouse, check us out. We will be talking about just ancient technology, Goddess Mia and I, the Culture Witch. So be sure that you are there and connecting with me, and I will definitely connect back with you. It is time for us to increase our productivity and creativity. And how I'm doing that, I guess, is being on Clubhouse. It's weird, huh? I'm on there and I've learned so much. I heard all kind of rumors about Clubhouse, and then I got on there and dispelled all those rumors. I'm talking about I'm on Clubhouse like writing notes like... I am traveling through the airport, y'all, running late. I had to stop just for a second so I could put these notes in my phone, so I could screenshot the person's name who was saying this. There are a plethora of resources on Clubhouse. A plethora of people who are willing to walk beside you and be your friend. So the person that I was walking beside virtually was Joe Senick, and he was asking us for our tips on how to increase productivity and creativity. So, I raised my hand because, Mimi the Motivator got something for you so you can be 1% better. So we talked about two main things that are dire for me to increase my productivity and creativity. Number one, I know I get on y'all nerves with this. Meditation. Yes, you have to meditate. I ain't gonna say you have to. I really want to say you must, though. Meditation, especially first thing in the morning, that's when it's best, when you first wake up. Now, granted, you might fall asleep in this meditation, but that's okay. Make sure you have some like timer set, or there's going to be a video that comes to an end that alerts you that, okay, it's time for this to be over. But to reset your mind, to start from a centered place, a grounded place first thing in the morning. Don't wake up and grab your phone and be clicking through it. I see that happen so much. People wake up and turn the television on. Man, if you don't turn that bull crap off, it's fake news anyway. You got fake news and fake reality TV. If you're going to turn something on in the morning, if anything, turn on a motivational video and let that play while you're getting ready for the day. Feed your mind the type of message that will set your momentum for the day, so that way you are productive. You listening to someone telling you about how to be productive and how to concentrate your mind, how to have a millionaire mindset. That will increase your productivity. But starting with that meditation. It can be a quiet meditation. You can listen to some binaural beats. I love binaural beats. If you're dealing with any issues with abundance, security, or stability, do some root chakra meditation music playing and get your meditation on. Meditation ain't all so serious like y'all think. It's just being quiet. Letting your body be quiet. Letting your mind be quiet. Letting thoughts just float on by. Just like watch a parade. They just go on by. You be like, hey. Don't feed into the thoughts. Don't allow the thoughts to flower. Because you're going to get an idea. Let's say, what is going to be for dinner? Well, last night we had, I kind of got a taste for. No. As soon as the thought comes across your mind, what is for dinner tonight? You say, well, I'm just going to breathe right now. I'll figure that out later. Meditation doesn't even just have to happen in the morning. I love to have an afternoon meditation where I just stop what I'm doing and I have it programmed into my schedule for just 15 minutes where I'm just going to sit down or possibly lay down. I like to lay down and meditate. But sit down and just be quiet. Reset again for the second part of my day. We need that. It will allow your mind to be clear. Sometimes we can't be as productive because our brains are like fogged up and clouded with all kind of memories of the past and thoughts of the future versus just being present. Maybe that's something else that you can do to increase your productivity and creativity is being present. Being in the now moment. And that doesn't mean going by whatever notifications are going off on your phone, but being in the now present moment. Focusing on the project that you are working on and knowing that you're doing it for a certain amount of time. So that way, no matter what's happening before that hour begins or whatever has to happen after that hour is over, you know that in this hour, I am going to be present with this project or reading this book, whatever it may be. Even cleaning your house. Be present in cleaning the house. Pay attention to what you're actually rubbing versus rubbing them thoughts in your head that you really don't even want to hear. What else can we do to increase our productivity and creativity? This is my favorite. My favorite thing to do to increase my productivity and creativity is, what do you think? What do you think? Come on. I've already said meditation. What is it? Oh, it's do not disturb. Yes, I am the queen of do not disturb. My phone almost always is on do not disturb. I have it programmed to start at maybe 9 o'clock at night and it stays until 10 o'clock in the morning. Right now, my phone is on airplane mode. So that way the person who knows, I just got to call twice to get through and then she'll answer. No, you can't get through no more either. I'm serious about my productivity. I'm serious about my creativity. I'm serious about my business. I'm serious about my mission. I'm serious about you, love bug, and being able to serve you and to serve you better. And I can't do that if I'm all distracted. The phone is going off. There's emails. There's notifications. Turn them doggone notifications off on your phone, period. You check the social media apps when you want to. You check your email when you want to. Email me and see what happens. You're going to get this nice little message that lets you know I only check my email once a day, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So if there's anything going on outside of that, and if it's not important, then I'll holler at you next time I check my email. Or if it's really important, shoot me a text message. We have to control our dynamic. We have to control our environment. And the way that I do that is with do not disturb. Now, that doesn't mean that I can't check my phone when I want to. But it allows me to have access to what I want to have access to, but not allowing the world to have access to me. That way I am not tethered to an electronic leash. That's what I find a cell phone to be, is an electronic leash. People feel like they call you and you're supposed to answer. Well, I text you. Okay, so what? As if whatever you have going on in your life is more important than what I have going on in my own life. Come on. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a high performance person, if you're a CEO, a high-level manager, then you understand that we have work to do. We are expected to produce results, not reasons as to why things aren't done and excuses of why we can't get it done, but to produce. If you're an entrepreneur, then you got to worry about content creation and all that kind of stuff. All of that needs creativity, and your mind needs to be free for that. Your mind definitely can't be bogged down with what other people are saying you should do with your business. Creativity does not come from the outside. It comes from the inside. Inspiration can come from the outside, but creativity comes from within. Creativity is that thing that you see with your eyes closed, and then you make it so that way, eyes open, you can see it. You have to be more creative than ever right now. You have to be creative in how you run your household. We have to be creative in how we're handling business now. We have to be creative in everything that we do, and especially creating this new normal. And if you joined me for my event 2 weeks ago, not only do we have to create a new normal, we have to create a new version of ourselves. And we're going to have to be creative with that. You have to be an innovative thinker. Business is not business as usual. And business has always been an ever-changing monster. It's like a roller coaster ride, and you never know what's going to come next. And that's why we have to be in a place where we can be creative, so we can think on our feet, and we can even approach issues and problems creatively. That word didn't come out of my mouth right. Creatively. Help me out, y'all. I need some more tea. I think that's what's going on. But love bugs, we really have to buckle down this year. We really have to get centered and have to get focused on what is important. What is important to you? What is it that you really want to produce? What is it that you really want to create? And then put yourself in a position to make that happen. I work with a lot of high performance folks. So because I am as well, we have to focus on operating at peak state almost at all times. And you can't do that without some proper things, with proper nutrition, proper rest. So yes, rest is a big, big, big contributor to you being productive and creative. Because when you are not operating at your full capacity, let's say you just operating at 50%, that is not being productive. You might as well take a nap and start all over again. I want to encourage you to do that. Take some afternoon naps. Schedule that in, especially if you're an entrepreneur and have control over your time. And if you don't and you're an employee and you get an hour lunch break, well then, honey, sleep for 20 minutes or meditate for 20 minutes, and then you can eat when you get up. But we need to be sure that we are putting ourselves in a position to produce at the level that we desire to produce. And not to pressure ourselves to produce, because I see that also. People want to push, 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 push. Sometimes you need to sit back and relax. So you think about what it is that you need to do so that you can be your most productive and most creative self. And if you have some tips for me, I would love to hear them. So go catch me at mimileut.com or on my Instagram, shoot me a DM. I want to know, what do you do to increase your productivity and your creativity? Because we finna ball out this year, y'all. Hey! All right. Let me get my sip of tea. And then we got a question. All right, our question says, Dear Mimi the Motivator, my favorite motivator's favorite motivator. I am in a relationship that is really working out well. And I feel like my guy is going to propose to me soon. But I'm not sure if I want to get married or not. Ooh. Is this like something that's going around? Like my best friend is having this same thing. Like you were listening to our conversation, weren't you? Because we've been talking about this. How do you know if you're supposed to marry somebody or not? It's a very good question. And I said I was going to do some like serious research and find out. I didn't do it, y'all. My bad. But I'm going to tell you what I've learned about being in a relationship and when it's time to exit a relationship. Once upon a time, I asked my Grammy, who had been married for about 25 years, how do you know when a relationship is over? And she says, when you're just tolerating the person. So indicator number one, if you're tolerating someone, we probably should not marry them. But I'm a should-us because I don't know. And I'm okay with saying I don't know. So all I'm going to do is speculate today on some things for us all to think about in the area of marriage and relationship in general. Now, the way I like to approach relationships is more like a partnership. Because very often people marry somebody that they are not equal partners with. I don't even know if that's a proper thing to say. But when you have one person that's on one type of track and somebody else is going in a track going the opposite direction, the gap is going to widen, and then you all are going to be miserable, staying together, or divorced. You need to look at marriage as a partnership because it is. You're going to be making financial decisions with these people. Big financial decisions, buying houses, buying cars, and maybe just buying a big screen TV. But you have to be prepared to make decisions with someone. And if you find that the person you're dating is not someone that you can easily make decisions with, that might not be your person. If your girl always opposes everything that you say, everything that you suggest, your girl might not be your girl. We got to think about these things. We need to be partnered with someone that we can get along with long term. And one way that I believe that can begin is to not be boo first. Be friend first. Walk beside me and be my friend. Get to know the person that you're dating. And allow the person that you're dating to really get to know you. You're good, you're bad, and you're ugly. Y'all just want to show people the good stuff and be like, oh yeah, all the pretty and the glitz and the glamour, the muscles, the nice car, the nice clothes. But what's going on the inside is what really matters. What's going on in this potential partner's head? What are their dreams and aspirations? What are their demons and their trauma? Because very many of us have trauma. I learned a startling statistic yesterday from the Culture Witch that said that 1 out of every 4 people we know are walking around with an undiagnosed case of mental illness. That's crazy. It doesn't mean that we are crazy or that person is crazy. But what it does mean to me is that people have stuff. People got stuff going on. And you may want to consider, is this the type of person who's willing to work through their stuff so they can be a better person? Or are they the type of person that's going to keep pushing the stuff to the back and allowing it to rear its ugly head every now and then? We have to really think about what it is that we even desire in a marriage partner. Because that's big. You have to know what you want. Now, I want to say stay general, but also be a little bit specific. Go ahead and write that list down. Like, I want her to be this, and that. And it can't all just be outer stuff. You need to know, what does this girl got going on in her mind? What does this man have going on in their mind that would interest you? Me personally, I'm trying to get somebody that's ambitious, somebody that is reliable and dependable. Someone who is a positive influence on the people around them. Somebody who cares about family and cares about the community and don't just care about the bling bling. We have to really get down to the nitty gritty and write down a list. You can get specific as you want. But what I do want to encourage you to do is to not expect for this person to show up 100% of your list. Maybe 80% would be good. 70 on a low bar, but about 80%, that'll get you in good, I think. Know that this is what I desire. There's something else that happens when we do that. When we write down what we desire and what we really want, the universe starts moving and working. So get clear on the type of person that you would want to marry. Or if you think you don't want to get married, that's okay too, because you might change your mind. But I'm sure that even if you say, I don't want to get married, that you probably still want to have a boo. So let's just look at relationship in general. What do we desire in a person in a relationship? What do we desire to experience in a relationship? And write it all down. And then I want you to go back later and check and see how it all worked out. But when you meet this new guy or when you meet this new girl, lady, compare them to your list. Literally, read down your list and see how many of those things can you check off that they match up with. Because if they don't match up with none, then you may not be in the best relationship for you, the best partnership. So consider these things, love bugs. And if you have any ideas, share with me. I am wide open, because we have to answer folks' questions. And we might have to do a whole show on this. How do you know if you're supposed to marry the person that you're about to marry? I don't know. But I want to send you the best. I send you best wishes. And if you get married, congratulations. But just know that it is your job to decide what type of person you desire and to open yourself for that person to come along. I want to thank you for joining me today. This is the Get High on Motivation Show. I am Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's favorite motivator. Be happy. Be healthy. Be you. And make sure you go find this show somewhere out there and listen to the past shows, because I bet you I got something for you. Thank you for joining me, IG. I will see you later. Bye.